This is day 6 of the project to learn the names and locations of the 254 counties of Texas in 30 days. I'm going to get right into the project. We're going to switch to go to clickandlearnsoftware.com and click the Play Now button. And we're going to find the icon that says 30 days to learn Texas counties. And from what I understand, these are going to be free for the entire rest of this year, 2025. So I'm going to scroll over to the game about reviewing the G and H counties. Click that icon, thumbnail. Click, we're in review mode, so we click single player and click go. There are apparently 35 counties that begin with the letter G and H. So they are in alphabetical order for those two counties. It asks for gains. And if you played this before and if you got in and practiced with this, you already know that after Gaines, Galveston, Garza, Gillespie, Glasscock, Goliad, Gonzales, Gray, Grayson, Greg Grimes, Guadalupe. That's all of the G's. We get into Hale. H's, Hale, Hall, Hamilton, Hansford, Hardiman, Hardin, Harrison, Hartley, Haskell, Hayes, Hemphill, Henderson, Hidalgo, Hill, Hockley. Here's the other thing. I'll talk about this in a minute when I do it the second time. Hockley, Hood, Hopkins, Houston, Howard, Hudspeth, Hunt, and Hutchison. I was 12 seconds over, and this time I'm going to take a lot longer doing this because I want to explain some things as I'm going along. As you click, you want to whisper as you click and picture the county and the placement in your mind as you're going through this. Whisper as you click, use a real mouse, and let's go. Gaines, Galveston, Garza. This is Gaines, this is Garza. Gillespie, Glasscock, Goliad, Gonzales, Gray, Grayson, Greg Grimes, Guadalupe. And then we get into the H's. Hale, Hall, Hamilton, Hansford. Oh, here's the other thing. Hamilton, Hansford, Hardin, Harrison. I'll tell you something else. Hartley, Haskell, Hayes, Hemphill, Henderson. I got two things to tell you. Hidalgo, Hill, Hockley, Hood, Hopkins, Houston, Howard, Hudspeth, Hunt, and Hutchison. The two things I want to tell you is, as I'm reciting, first of all, you can't look, if you're going to beat the clock, you can't be looking at the question. You have to know that after I click Gaines, go down to Galveston, Garza, Gillespie, Glasscock, Goliad, Gonzales, Grayson, Greg Grimes, Guadalupe. But here's what I want to tell you about the H's. We're not just doing this alphabetically by the first letter of the county name. We're paying attention to the second letter as well. All of these are going to begin with H-A, H-A-E-I-O-N-U, but this is H-A. Hale, Hall, Hamilton, Hansford, Hardiman, Hardin, Harris, Harrison, and Hartley. And now and Haskell, okay, Haskell and Hayes. All of those begin with HA. And then we go to HE. This helps us. Hemphill, Henderson, Hemphill, Henderson, and then HI, Hidalgo, Hill, and then HO. There's several begin with HO. Hockley, Hood, Hopkins, Houston, and Howard, and then HU, Hudspeth, Hunt, and Hutchison. We did not beat the clock, and I'm kind of showing you how to review, so I've been kind of talking about too many things here, but the way to review is get in, practice, 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 focus, avoid distractions. Let's see how fast we can do this. And we've got 50 seconds. And after we get to the end, down here in the bottom right is going to tell you how many bonus points I have for beating the clock by so many seconds. So I hope that I've got 10 or more bonus points, because I hope to be able to do this in not just 50 seconds, but 40 seconds. Let's go. Gaines, Galveston, Garza, Gillespie, Glasscock, Gillespie, Glasscock, Goliad, Gonzalez, Gray, Grayson, Greg Grimes, Guadalupe, Greg Grimes, Guadalupe, Hale, Hall, Hamilton, Hansford, Hardiman, Hardin, Harris, Harrison, Hartley, Haskell, Hayes, Hemphill, Henderson, Hidalgo, Hill, HIO, Hockley, Hood, Hopkins, Houston, Howard, Hudspeth, HU, Houston, Hudspeth, Hunt, and Hamilton. I got 5 extra time bonus, so it took me 45 seconds to do that. You can do better. Keep practicing, get in and do this while I'm here. The other way to review is I'm going to exit and I'm going to go back into that game. I'm reviewing for day 6, back into that game, and I'm going to switch to test mode. In test mode, as you know, we got 35 questions. As you know, in test mode, all the buttons are on the screen in random order. See what we can do. Let's see if I've even got this on the screen. I'm going to put myself back on the screen down there. This is in test mode. We're not racing the clock. 35 questions, random order. Hale, Hansford, Harrison, Houston, Greg, Henderson, Hutchison, Hunt, right below Fannin, Galveston on the coast, Grayson right on the Red River, Gillespie, Gaines was the first alphabetically, Hill, it was Hidalgo, Hill, Hamilton, and then Hansford, Hardiman, Hartley, Goliad, it was Goliad, Gonzalez, Hardin down the bottom right, Hudspeth over next to El Paso, Hemphill in the Panhandle, Glasscock over by, this would be Sterling, Haskell, Hockley, Hood, Hall, this was Hale, this is Hall, Howard, this is Howard, Hopkins, where am I at? Hopkins, Guadalupe, we're not racing the clock. Have a chance to think. Harris, I've answered 28 so far. Harris. If I get a green light, they're correct. Hayes, so far I think I've got green lights on all of these. Hayes, Haskell. Hayes is, this should be Hayes. Grimes, this is Greg Grimes. Gray, Hidalgo, Hill. Garza, Gaines, Galveston, Garza. That's 34. Gonzalez is Goliad, Gonzalez. So we got 100%. That's how you review. And now we'll get into the lesson 4 today, and that is to learn the counties that begin with letters I and J. I and J. Click Learn Mode. 7 questions at a time. There's only one county that begins with the letter I. So that's Iron, Irion. It asks for Jack. If we click the wrong button, it says, sorry, this is Jeff Davis over here. This would be Jefferson over here. We can use the Show Me button. It asks for Jack and Jackson. That was Jack. And use the Show Me for Jackson. Jasper. I was born in Jasper County, Missouri, right next to Newton County, and coincidentally, a few states have a Newton and a Jasper right next, attached to each other, adjoining each other. That was kind of a surprise. Jasper, Jeff Davis, Jefferson, and Jim Hogg. We did not beat the clock. We're going to go through this faster. It asked for Irion, Jack, Jackson, Jasper, Jeff Davis, Jefferson, and Jim Hogg. 2 seconds over. Let's do that faster. Irion, Jack, Jackson, Jasper, Jeff Davis, Jefferson, and Jim Hogg. We beat the clock. So now we're going to the 10 questions. There apparently is just one county that starts with I, and apparently 9 counties that start with the letter J. So this is really an easy lesson. So let's just do this. Irion, Jack, Jackson, Jasper, Jeff Davis, Jefferson, Jim Hogg, and now we have 3 new questions. It asks for Jim Wells. Is this Jim Wells? No, that's Jones. Is this Jim Wells? No, that's Johnson. We can use this Show Me button. Okay, so this is Jim Wells. Johnson and Jones, we did not beat the clock. 13 seconds over, so we go through that again. Irion, Jack, Jackson, Jasper, Jack, Jackson, Jasper, Jeff Davis, Jefferson, Jim Hogg, Jim Wells, Johnson, and Jones. And also, I'm going to click the replay button. In order to beat the clock, you don't have time to look at the question. You have to know that after you click Irion, Jack, Jackson, Jasper, Jeff Davis, Jefferson, Jim Hogg, Jim Wells, Johnson, Jones, just like that. Let's do it. Irion, Jack, Jackson, Jasper, Jim Hogg, Jeff Davis, Jefferson, Jim Hogg, Jim Wells, Johnson, and Jones. We beat the clock, and so now we go into random order. In random order, we give you more time because you do have to look at the question each time. It asks for Jeff Davis, Jasper, Jim Hogg, Jefferson, random order. This is Johnson, Jones, Irion, Jim Wells, Jack, and Jackson. 3 seconds over, random order. Let's do that again. Johnson, Jim Wells, that was Jim Hogg, Jim Wells, Irion, Johnson, Jones, Jim Hogg, Jim Wells, Jim Hogg, Jefferson, Jeff Davis, Jefferson, Jeff Davis, Jackson. This was Jack, Jackson. This is Jack and Jasper. Okay. I did not expect that. 2 seconds over. Let's go. Jeff Davis, Jack, Irion, Johnson, Jim Hogg, Jefferson, Jasper, Jackson, Jones, Jim Wells. Okay, we beat the clock and we had 1 extra second to go. Now we're going into test mode. Click the go button. They're going to be in random order. All 10 questions on the screen. We're not racing the clock. And the Show Me button does appear. When we click the correct button, we get a green light. Jim Hogg. When we click the wrong button, we get a red light. It asks for Irion. I'm going to click Jack instead. We got a red light. We only have one chance to enter it, so I'm not going to get 100%. Wait. Okay, let's just go through this. Jim Wells, Jeff Davis, Johnson, Johnson and Jones, Jefferson, bottom right, Jasper, over next to Newton County, Jones, Jackson, this is Jack, this is Jackson, Jack, and we got 90% because I missed that one. I missed it on purpose. I was showing you what happens when you click the wrong button. Let's go and get 100%. Irion, Jackson, Johnson, Jefferson, whisper as you click. Jones, use a real mouse. Jack, Jim Hogg, right below Jim Wells, and there's Jim Wells. Jasper, Jeff Davis, and we got 100%. That is how easy it is to use this system, how quickly you can learn. Amazing amount of information. Actually, it took me, I started September 25, September, I think it finished October 12, so that's about 18 days, 1 hour, maybe an hour and a half in an evening. And I would take the list of counties to bed with me and go to sleep reciting. Anderson, Andrews, Angelina, Ranzis, Archer, Armstrong, Anascosa, Austin, Bailey, Bandera, Bastrop, Baylor, B, Bell, Behar, Blanco, Borden, Boss, Bowie, Brazoria, Brazos, Brewster, Briscoe, Brooks, Brown, Burleson, Burnett, Caldwell, Calhoun, Callahan, Cameron, Kemp, Carson, Castro, Chambers, Cherokee, Childress, Cochran, Coleman, Colin Collinsworth, Colorado Kamal, Comanche Concho, Cook, Coriel, Cottle, Crane, Crockett, Crosby, Culberson, and so forth, Dallas, and so forth. As we go through this, we're going to get closer to the end, and I'll show you that you can recite all the counties of Texas in. The goal is 254 counties in 254 seconds, but some of these counties have so many syllables that it's a challenge. So in order to make excuses for myself, I say, well, let's give us 300 seconds. You can do whatever you want to do on this, but main thing is to get into play, get into practice, and it's that easy. It's that easy. Thank you for watching, and get in and learn. You'll be one of the few people on your block that be the first on your block to be able to do this. Okay, enough of that. Thank you so much, and thank you for watching.